Good afternoon. I am also a geological piece of Matera 2019 because I was working on this project since 2010. So I have a lot of stratifications of my work because of this project has all this experience a lot. With stratification, it is not a linear story because this project has all the history of the European capital of culture, experience a lot of disruptures, but also continuity. And I represent Matera. Matera is a small city in the south of Italy. It is the first European capital of culture of the south of Italy, and it has 60,000 inhabitants. It is maybe it is known by you also because it is in the movie imagery, because Pasolini shot there his Gospel according to St. Matthew, but also Mel Gibson shot his Passion. And there are a number of US blockbuster like Wonder Woman or Nativity or the next James Bond will be. But it is just a small city. Like many and most of the small cities normally buy and consume cultural products produced elsewhere. It's produced in the small, in the big cities, producing by the big institutions. So as we have a close connection with Leeuwarden, is it possible that a small city in the south of Italy can produce cultural product, can co-produce cultural product? Can citizens from Matera not just consume culture, but can also co-produce and live culture? This was our challenge. It is, and that's why since the beginning we launched a manifesto on Matera 2019 community, and we say that all the cities are beautiful because they have magnificent churches, or magnificent squares, and so on, and the cities, but the cities are not made only of these wonderful buildings, are made of the knowledge which is embedded in the local community, which allowed to build these beautiful buildings. And if you lose if there is an earthquake or an economic decline and the local knowledge is still there, you can rebuild the city. Otherwise, you will lose the city. So we launched this call is that every city is a software, and Matera and the citizens are the software of Matera 2019. So it was a strong call to citizens to be the protagonist of this capital, and this was not normal because normally citizens, Dana spoke about the void of a small village, and I think that this is for Matera, but it is also for normally they say, oh, it's not up to me, it's up to someone else to do something. We invited them to be proactive, to work through culture, and to be the protagonist of this. That's why the protagonists of Matera are ordinary people. I don't know if ordinary is a nice word, is a common people. So very, very ordinary people can be extraordinary people. The history of Matera is that is a city, you will see afterwards the video, is a city which is maybe the oldest city in Europe because it has 9,000 years, but has been built not by marvelous architects or sculptures like Buonarroti. We didn't have Buonarroti, we didn't have this Michelangelo, even if we are in Italy, but it is the result, the output of a lot of master builders. So it is a sort of the product of, we can say today, collective intelligence. So we call for these ordinary people to be the extraordinary protagonists of the European capital of culture. And
questa giornata per...
No, okay. That's why we have, so we can say, numbers of projects. I would like to speak about the protagonists of this project. In this case, we have this project which is called Silent Academy. And it speaks about the invisible skills of the invisible citizens that we all have in our cities. And we are speaking about migrants. And in this case, there was this incredible designer coming from Africa, who uses this tissue, which is not so glossy as it appears in this picture, but it is normally used to cover people when they are rescued in the Mediterranean. And it is just to warm them, because they spend a lot of time in the sea. And so they use this tissue to make these marvelous and very glossy and very shining dresses. And all these labs were made along with housewives who went to this lab and build and design and build and come si dice, cucire, and sew these wonderful dresses. And there was also a défilé, and the protagonists of this défilé were ordinary people, no matter what is the color of their skin. And in these cases, we have a group of moms, Matera, who worked on a community garden with artists coming from Africa, from Hong Kong, but also from Europe. And so you have a group of moms, but you can have also a group of young designers, you can have a group of retired people, you can have a school. So no matter. Okay, this is quite easy to involve because it's Mamma Mia, and it is yes, you are speaking about food, so everyone could be involved in a sharing cooking, in a sharing kitchen. But we have also this project about Purgatorio, which is now performed in Matera. There are 15 performances, and in each time there is 500 citizens who are part of the performance, and it's amazing. I would like just to quote the words of El Teatro delle Albe. They say it's like if you have to build two works. On one side you have to build the performance. On the other side you have to build this cathedral of people. And I would like to use this name, this word, this image of cathedral, because normally the cathedral was built as a symbol of a community. And I think that if we use, and all the people that are involved are committed because they think that they are building an open cathedral, which is which is the symbol of their community, but with their community, which, like in Lovat, is not just local, but it is open to the other. And I will show you just this video to give. was a lot of citizens who became the makers of this cathedral of lights, which were prepared for the opening ceremony. And we organized, I don't know how many, hundreds of workshops involving these people, involving all the people, not only in the city, but also in the region. And the question is that how to involve them, because I discussed with my colleague and say, okay, we can involve the traditional partners, but we have also to look for other people, because normally it is not sufficient to have a public call, also to have a guy who goes like this, hey, come on and take part. You have to go to the places where you can find people that normally do not are part of this project. So we say, hey, we have to go to the call center. The call center is a place where there are a lot of young people who are disappointed, who are who feel frustrated, but who are young, and you have to give them the possibility to be part of this dream of making it a cathedral. So we went to the call center. We went also to the dancing school, because there are plenty of people who like to dance every week, but who are not part of this dream. So we went also to this dancing school. We went to the hospitals. That's why we had also the way that you have to go to there and not say, okay, we made our best, but they are not coming. You have to go to there. So this is quite important. Okay, the opening ceremony, there was so many people took part in this. I would like just to say that we also worked in a difficult project. Let's see, there was a project about archives. Archives is the most inaccessible heritage, because it is dusty, because if you touch it disappears, because they are secret, because they are not beautiful like a painting. So how to work on this? We had this bold project about revisiting the archives of the region through important artists like James Bridle, like Virgilio Sieni, like Forma Fantasma. But how to work with citizens about this? So we said, bring your objects, the objects of the obsession of your father, your grandfather. We will work on the visual design about these objects. So how to work also with archives. To think about, so of course the citizens were also our ambassador. I will show you this video because you are the protagonist of this video. You will see, I don't know how to, No, it is impossible, okay. And another word is about the passport. I would like also to speak about this. Because we are not selling tickets, we are giving passport. And a passport which costs 19 euros and give access to all the events in the city during the year. It is a passport which costs 12 euros for people from Matera. And it is, we have two effects on this. It is hunger for culture. Our region was famous because the cultural participation rates were very low, but we can see the queues that people in the rain are making in order to take part in the events. It is not important what kind of event, they must be in the events. And it was amazing to see people that do normally attend any event who are now attending a concert of Edible Orchestra, which is a concert of 1 hour with carrot and aubergine and etc. So and they were amazed at the end of this. So it is a way to facilitate, to promote the access and diversification of publics. And on the other hand, it's another way. It's a passport for temporary citizens. We have to speak about tourists. In Matera, we have a lot of tourists, but we would like just to have a interaction with them, an interaction with Matera 2019. Not just they have to pass and invade the city, but they can become a temporary citizen, and we promote all the activities where they can also be the co-producers of Matera 2019 event. So experience and live the city through culture and have an experience also with citizens. Just to see, I can show you just 2 videos if it's possible. On one hand is to have the opening ceremony, which is narrated by volunteers. What is their impression about? Is it possible to launch this video?
Questa giornata per me è come vivere, diciamo, il giorno della festa patronale, che io vivo molto ma molto intensamente. E poi sono molto positiva e penso sempre andrà bene. Tutto qui.
La prima cosa che ho fatto, sono andata a prendere la felpa per indossarla, perché volevo essere un volontario.
Non potevo stare a casa ancora a lungo e infatti sono venuto subito qui in centro e ho cominciato a dare una mano. È lo stesso spirito che mi ha motivato dall'inizio, da quando ho scelto di diventare volontario.
Per rendere, diciamo, questo progetto più efficiente, magari spostando una sedia, spostando una persona, distribuendo dei gadget.
Accompagno 2 bande, una di Nova Sicilia e una ungherese di Pez. Emozionantissimo.
Molto emozionante. Io che sono un veterano, sono un materano, per me lascia un segno indelebile perché è importante che non è mai successo nella mia vita.
Sicuramente è stata un'occasione speciale perché mi sono confrontata con dei coetanei provenienti dalla Finlandia.
La dimensione europea si sente già sentendo come tutte queste bande che parlano lingue diverse, con spartiti diversi, suonino la stessa musica. È una dimensione europea che è profonda.
E abbiamo preparato anche i tavoli per il pranzo da dedicare a questi nostri ospiti graditi.
Io sono di Matera e da cittadino ho deciso di fare quindi il volontario, di unirmi alla squadra dei volontari.
La maggior parte dei cittadini che abbiamo incontrato avevano più o meno il nostro stesso entusiasmo. La collaborazione è quello che sta facendo riuscire meglio la cerimonia.
Il ricordo più forte è legato ai progetti di comunità che hanno dato la possibilità ai cittadini di essere coinvolti attivamente nel partecipare alla vita pubblica o comunque sia sociale.
La mancanza di fiato quando hanno cominciato ad accendersi le lucine nei sassi, nel sasso buio. Anche perché è un progetto che abbiamo curato noi, quindi vederne la riuscita è stato veramente emozionante.
Ringrazio tutti i volontari e volontari anche la fondazione che mi danno fiducia.
E sarò fiera, diciamo, di essere stata volontaria, di aver contribuito allo svolgimento di questa giornata.
Matera abbraccia l'Europa perché da una città dimenticata è diventato il centro dell'Europa.
conoscenza che questo territorio può essere un territorio di accoglienza, di integrazione per tutti coloro che lo attraversano, lo hanno attraversato e che soprattutto lo vorranno attraversare. Una dimensione che non dà più solo lo sguardo locale, ma una dimensione complessiva, direi globale.
Yes, it was important just not to speak through their eyes, and I would like to remind that also in Matera we had this community-based project made by normal people. But for instance, there was the biggest, the hugest coder dojo, which is a coding lesson organized, which involved 1,000 people, organized by ordinary people. This was just one part of this project. But today we have in Matera, with participants from Kaunas, from Leeuwarden, from Eleusis, Wrocław, Galway, and I remember, and other cities, because we have this European Neighbor Day at ECOC level. So it becomes, after Leeuwarden last year, it becomes now an event at European level. Why it is important? Because it is important also to give these heroes to have the chance to exchange ideas, but also to cooperate at international level, not just to be local projects, but to be international projects. And I was speaking with Anna before, and it is important because the most important programs that Europe launched were programs which affected people. So Erasmus affected people, European Capital affected people. So we can build a new vision of Europe only if we enable and empower people to work together through culture. That's why I think it is extremely important to have this festival. And just to conclude, I conclude with another video, just because it's a festival, and then it gives an idea how we organize the ECOC family, and how the Matera 20, I think, were a sort of ambassadors of the city. And let me check, where is this video? This one. No. Is it the video? Okay, yes.
È qui?
Questa è una polpetta capricciata di lampascione.
But this is what these are which is from same day?
Questo secondo un piatto tipico materano, l'agnello a sciascello.
Assassino, va bene.
Pure di fave.
Ecco. Parlo di zucchine, parlo di carciofi crudi, parlo di melanzane.
Sale with sugar or without sugar? With sugar. Come si dice pizza? Che pizza?
I was great. It was everybody's faces. Good.
Thank you.
Okay, finished.
Thank you, Rossella. It's so great to see our friends from different European capitals of culture, and Anna and Virginia. And I heard so many things that we can relate with, but also it turns out that Rossella has to leave and she can stay with us during the discussion. So now we have a moment where we can ask some questions. Do we have any questions? Okay, Anna.
Okay. Thank you, Rossella, for your presentation, and I really like the concept of the temporary citizen. And what do you think is, could you maybe elaborate a little bit more on this concept, what is behind it, and what could be the more sustainable relation with these temporary citizens, with the tourists that come to our cities?
Yeah. This is partly a strong debate that we are having in Matera, because we are really flooded by tourists. There was an incredible increase of tourist flows. And in Matera, like in other cultural cities, there was this strong controversial about tourism. So our tourism, is tourism an utopia or is tourism a dystopia? Just to quote one of our team, utopias and dystopias. And are tourist devils or are tourist angels? It depends also. And we say that they are just citizens that would like to exchange their world and that must respect the city, not just pass through and spend 3 hours consuming the city, but as it's important to leave the city. So we also designed a number of projects in order to promote this exchange, this interaction between tourists, temporary citizens, and permanent citizens. But you can be temporary for a couple of days, you can be temporary for 3 months, you can be temporary for years. And it is important also this exchange. And that's why, for instance, we have a project which is called the Matera Alberga. We designed this project with the hotels, which are boutique hotels, and which are in the Sassi. The Sassi were this wonderful quarter which was evacuated dramatically in the 50s. 20,000 people live in this case with no toilet, and that's why Matera was considered the shame of Italy, and we were really this stamp, shame. And I say, okay, and after a while these caves will be transformed into houses. I live in one of these houses, but also into boutique hotels, and they become exclusive hotels. So we use art and installation, participatory art, to transform these hotels, exclusive hotel, into inclusive hotels, where everyone, so tourists and locals, can enter and can visit the installations, can speak with the artists, can take part in workshops, art thinking workshops, and art walking workshops. So it's a way to promote. It's just one project to promote this interaction. And it is very nice because you have these people who abandoned their caves, their houses, and now never entered again, because this is the houses of rich people now. This is the house of affluent tourists. Now, through this project, they re-enter the houses and have an interaction with the people who are temporarily inhabiting these houses. And so this is important to share the stories, the story of once upon a time and the story of again. So this is a true art. We are encouraging this concept, and it is this is extremely so. It is successful in this case.
Okay, thank you. We have one more question here.
I would like to put that question to both of you, Jelle and Rossella.
Or maybe Jelle.
First Jelle, because Leeuwarden it's over and Matera is still an ongoing project.
Can we leave this question for the discussion?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. The question for Rossella is.
No,
okay.
Okay. So, what is there something what you would have done differently as for the involvement on the inhabitants?
No, can you repeat?
Yeah, if there is something there, this is the favorite ECOC question. If there is something what you would have done differently as for the involvement of the inhabitants?
Yes, for instance, I was impressed by the project of Konas about youngsters. I think that we didn't focus on the youngsters, on the young people, and I liked a lot their projects because they empower because it's a capacity building project. We also work on this capacity building, so it's a way we say that Matera 2019, that citizens are a software, and the ECOC is a way to upgrade these skills, to upgrade this software. So this is our meaning. And if you work on people, you can guarantee a sort of legacy instead of working on bricks, just on bricks. But yes, I was impressed because they worked specifically on youngsters, and they give them the tools to become protagonists of the year. We didn't focus on them, so this is what I regret.
But the good thing is that you still have time.
Yeah, after 2019, yes, of course.
Okay, then I would like to have to ask you a question. So it was the thing that you said that you didn't think through, but what surprised you the most as the citizen of the city during this half of the year?
It surprised me that they are willing to be upset. To put their uncomfortable questions, to be questioned by artists, and to question themselves also by taking risk and to be on the stage in not necessarily comfortable performances or traditional performances. So that's what I was positively impressed.
Okay, and one more question. Do you have you mentioned this that the level of participation and culture have raised significantly. Do you have a plan how to keep it after this title year?
Yes, I was thinking that maybe we have also to analyze exactly the effects of passport, because this could be, I can say, a communicative, but not only. It is a tool also to engage people. And so this could be, we are now studying how this could be a legacy for the future, how this passport could be a legacy for cultural participation. And
okay, thank you. Thank you. So, thank you, Rossella. Have a safe flight home.